Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to Entertainment Experts. This is Jack. I'm Christian, and we're here to talk about the Mandalorian season 3 finale and what our predictions are. I'll let Jack go first.
Gotcha. So, episode comes out on Wednesday. It is currently Monday, April 17th. Going to be doing a little bit of predictions about it. I guess just right off the bat, we'll go with the obvious. I think Thrawn is going to make his big debut, at least in the Mandalorian series and that kind of stuff. I think that we're going to get a big teaser at the end with him and Ahsoka, because the upcoming Ahsoka series is coming out, and obviously Thrawn is going to be connected to that. So I think that we're going to get a pretty big reveal with those.
I agree. I agree with that statement. I think we'll see I don't think we'll see a big thing of Thrawn. I think it'll be like a little clip of you probably see him walking and down a hallway at the very end of the episode or something.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that typical like Star Wars thing. The camera goes up, pans up their like sleeve or something, and then shows over the shoulder. He's got a very, it's him. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're gonna get a big reveal. Yeah, I do think you're right though. I think it'd be maybe a three to 5 second clip of him probably walking in as you were saying, and it's gonna be something like that, and then it's gonna just end. And you'll have to wait until Ahsoka.
Typical
So
Star Wars thing. But also to redefine what you were saying about Thrawn, we did see those when Din and Grogu were flying in space and they're in hyperspeed, you saw those animals that was in Rebels, and that's what Ezra Bridger captured Thrawn with to take him to a different galaxy.
yeah, when they were traveling, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Grogu even sees them and
yeah.
he like does like a double take at it, which I mean I'd be doing the same thing. It's trippy, but yeah,
Um,
I think that they're definitely building up for some type of big reveal. And with Ahsoka coming out, I feel like it's all but guaranteed that there's gonna be at least some mention of Thrawn in the last episode.
right. Going back to what we're saying about Grogu, I think Grogu will actually say his first words at the end of this
Oh,
finale.
you think so?
Yeah.
I
'Cause
think I think we could be on track for that. I think that he could be the big hero of the episode. Like maybe he does something like really heroic, because usually he's just there and he's helping along with Din and that kind of stuff. But since Din's captured and Moff Gideon is out, that Bo Katan is maybe going to have some sort of dilemma where, oh, it's either you take on Moff Gideon and you end that, or you save Din and Moff gets away. Like, I think there might be some sort of event where Grogu actually comes in and saves the day. I mean, that's all. You never know, but
here's
I think
one
it's possible.
here's my bold prediction. One of these three characters has to die at the finale. Moff Gideon, Din Djarin, or Bo-Katan. You gotta kill one of the
I don't
three.
know, man. I think the armor is gonna die. That's my bold prediction. I do agree that honestly, I feel like since Paz Vizsla died, they have to kill someone else.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, his death is there, but I think it sets the tone for the next episode. You know,
I'm gonna
I
go
I
one step
really do.
further.
I think you're right.
I'm gonna go one step further about your armor dying. She gonna die to the hands of Din Djarin for being a traitor.
What do you think she's? I've seen some speculation that she could be a traitor. I mean, especially with the horns.
And it's so
But I just
convenient
don't
for
know. I
her.
do think you're right. I think there could be a Mandalorian traitor. I just don't know if it's her, but it would make sense. I guess she's the armorer. I don't
It,
know.
no, it's so convenient for her. How come she had all these injured people? And you know how we were talking about last episode, how she was flying up, you were feeling the intensity that some space battle was happening up there, but nothing happened. So there's got to be something about that. And Moff
Yeah,
Gideon could not make that suit by himself.
yeah.
What does the armor do? She makes armor for people.
That's the thing. That's one of the things where it's like it's questionable because he obviously got a lot,
Yeah.
and someone made those. And I mean, it hasn't really gone in depth about that. I just don't see how it could have been the armorer. Like maybe there's some holes like in the past, but I feel like usually she's at the hideout. She hasn't really done anything. But I will admit the tension in the scene where she was going up to the ship, but maybe that was just for effect of seeing the storm and seeing how bad it was. Maybe just explaining
Had
why they
that
didn't have a main
already. We've
contact.
had that already.
I mean, that's true.
When Din was
Everyone
coming
knows
back,
that
Grogu.
Mandalore is destroyed.
Yeah, when Din was coming down with Grogu the first time, and then we saw that again when Bo-Katan was coming down with the whole fleet, kind of.
Yeah, I think the armor dies. I just don't know if she's a traitor. I don't see Din dying. I just can't see him dying. They've built up this whole thing with him and Grogu to end it. I feel like that would just cripple the fan base's support of the series, you know. And with Bo-Katan, I mean, you can see that they're obviously setting up. I mean, honestly, you could probably give her own show at this point, you know, especially with Din pledging his alliance to her. I feel like to kill her off, I don't know, because they've built her as the bridge between, you know, the Children of the Watch and the Mandalorians that stayed. So it's like, would they kill her off? You know, I don't know, especially because now she's got the dark saber, and she's really the only one that
That's
has
been using it
demonstrated she knows how
though.
to use it.
She only used it once to cut open that
I
door.
know. I feel like I wish they would do more scenes with it, but I do think that they have it all agreed that it's not really a huge deal. It's more of like a tradition, you know, which she took it seriously. But I mean, they even stated that they didn't really care. You know, Din said it meant nothing to them.
So back to what I'm thinking. Like, here's my three guesses who the traitors are. It's either gonna be the armorer, Alex Wolf, like the guy that was in command before Bo-Katan,
Hmm.
and then it's gonna be like one other cult person. I feel like it's gonna have to be like another cult guy.
I agree with Wolf. I do get those vibes from him, especially I don't know. Well, I was gonna say that him and Paz Vizsla, they did have a rift, and obviously it got settled, I guess, by when
Here,
Grogu came in and stopped him. But he
that's
does give some bad vibes in terms of not being loyal, like truly loyal to the Mandalorian cause, you
yeah.
know.
I
And it
mean,
doesn't show him a lot really after his little entanglement, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really show the conflict. It doesn't show like him progressing. So it's really just he's there and then he's just kind of following, you know. So he could be doing some stuff that we don't know about.
and going back to like episode 8 when their contracts for hire episode, one of the Mandalorians of the cult, not really the cult, but Bo-Katan's group, says Mandalorians, we are paid for money. We don't care about our like respect and loyalties. We're paid for. So you're wondering in the back of your head, did Alex Wolf get paid by Moff Gideon to?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a good theory because you know Moff Gideon will do anything he can, master manipulator. And yeah, you're right. I feel like that was the Mandalorian's motto. You know, now I mean, you lost your home world. The Empire destroyed it. You know, so you have to make a living. Plus, the design of the ship was just amazing. But that's besides the point. I do think that there could be some sort of deceit in the group, especially because I feel like a lot of them still have loyalty to him.
yeah.
You know, like they supported Bo-Katan, but she really had nothing but the name at the time. You know, like now they've built a lot around her, and that she's the chosen one, if you will, to bring both of the sides together to reunite Mandalore. But I think that there could be some deceit in terms of leadership on Mandalore, that kind of thing.
But here's going back to why I think the armor is the spy. Because think about this. When we were back on Coruscant, Moff Gideon was surprised when his little henchman came to him and was saying, the pirates on Navarro got attacked. And he was surprised by that, and he asked by who, and she said the Mandalorians, and he said what Mandalorians, and she said together, and he was surprised by that. He didn't know that both of them came together. And I think it's the greater picture because I think Moff Gideon's been talking to the armor, but the armor has her own ideas and conflicts that she wants to have happen. So she wants to take back Mandalore herself, but she's also reporting back to Moff Gideon about her stuff.
I don't know. I really don't know. I could see that. I think that that's a possibility. I think that they have a lot of stuff that they could do. So it's really up in the air. I do think that the armor is going to be a bigger piece of the episode. Like I think she's going to do something, you know, especially they went to the Great Forge. They've seen it, you know, they know it exists. And I think that there could be some sort of I don't know. She's going to do something though. I think you're right. I don't know if she's the traitor, but I do think that there is going to be at least a traitor among them,
Well,
among
it's
us.
Den. It's Den.
I imagine. Moff Gideon has poisoned his mind. I mean, I guess it's possible, but
I mean, we saw someone get basically brain dead.
yeah, I was about to say just fried his brain.
I mean, I've been seeing
Why did a machine like that exist? I mean, I guess this is all future technology, but
yeah,
never know.
I've been seeing a theory that he might get brainwashed.
I mean, it's possible. He's in. I
Yeah.
mean, he's captured, and there's no telling what Mom Gideon is going to do to him. You know,
Who do you think is gonna save Din? Because I have my prediction is Boba Fett and Finnick.
I've seen that. I've read a couple of things about Boba that said Boba could come in. I don't know. I believe that too. I think Boba could be involved with it. Or like maybe, they're on their last leg about to lose and Boba comes in. Oh my gosh, if we get a slave one reveal again, I will lose it. That would be absolutely awesome.
Boys. Ooh.
Because he's got that fleet in there. You saw all the ties. So he's got the TIE fighters. You never know. And I could see it, but I do think it's probably going to be Grogu. Maybe a collab of Grogu and Boba, maybe something like that.
Here's
But I
probably
think that Grogu's going to be a big part of it.
my prediction is like, so Moff Gideon sent those TIE fighters and his TIE destroyers up to destroy the Mandalorian fleet. I think like the first 5 minutes we're gonna see like the Mandalorians failing up in the space battle, and that the whole fleet's crumbling down on Mandalore. And it's gonna just be one big final fight like on Mandalore between.
Just between the Empire. Yeah, I could see that. I think that the episode is probably going to start with the scout that they sent up to get signal, like him. I think it's going to start with him. And maybe he gets up there and he's telling them about it. And then you see like all of the Empire, like the TIE fighters, just raining down on them. But I think you're right. I think there's going to be some sort of battle in air that transfers to the ground to like connect the two scenes.
And heck, we might even see Luke again if Grogu uses the Force to get him back
You
out.
never know, man. I mean, he's definitely more connected now than he was before. So I think that he's got that connection with Luke and it's possible. I just don't see that Luke would go all the way to Mandalore to like help the Mandalorians, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I don't want to rule anything out because you never know. I think there's going to be a massive cliffhanger. There has to be.
You think so?
They're notorious for doing that. There's got to be. There's going to be something crazy. I
I think
really hope that we get another look at the Praetorian Guards. Oh, that would be absolutely insane. I think their design is perfect. But if we can get another, I think there's going to be a pretty good fight scene with them and somebody. Maybe like Bo-Katan and Wolf reunite and go against the Praetorian Guards. I don't know. Maybe there's some
I
sort
think
of
I
fight
think
scene
Wolf
in there.
I think Wolf would do it, would fight them by himself and die to the hands of them.
Yeah. Hey, maybe he's a noble sacrifice. Somebody's going to die. It could be Wolf.
It's gotta be multiple people. Like going back to your
I think
point
there's going to be a
earlier,
lot of Mandalorian loss.
yeah. Going back to what you said earlier, Paz Vizsla's death is not gonna be the only one. Like we're gonna have to have like multiple like people. Like it's like this is a big battle. Like no, like not one like important character is not gonna have to die. Like someone else is gonna have to.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's a clash. I mean, it's a rematch, not on the same scale, but it's a rematch between the Empire and the Mandalorians. So I do think that there has to be some sort of sacrifice to like show the struggle.
That could be Din because he's all
I don't
about
know, man. He is captured. He could do some like heroic scene where he kills Gideon and then dies.
could be Bo-Katan. It could be
I just
anything.
don't know. You would think that it would be like Bo-Katan, especially at the start, when it's more focused around Din and you have Bo-Katan come in and kind of join the picture. I could see her dying, but the last episode kind of sets it where she is the head Mandalorian now. So I just don't know if they could really kill her off now. I feel like they've built too much of a base around her. I don't know.
I mean, if you just gotta wait, or do you think like Grogu makes a sacrifice play with the IG-12?
Dude, I like what they did with IG and I like the scene where they're walking through the markets. Yes, yes. I love that, from a fan perspective. But I just don't know. There has to be some importance of them doing that because Grogu, like, he doesn't need to have that. Like, I mean, realistically, he doesn't need that.
Hey, the point of it was Hasbro making more toys. Think
I
about
mean, yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I just don't. I think that they maybe need to do something with that on the next episode where he just goes crazy, and just kills everybody. I would love to see him use the force and just crush a robot, or do something like shove a robot. Like, I just want something, man. Show me some force action.
I want Grogu to get his lightsaber, but we just know that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. It would be really cool, but I just don't see that either. Especially like the scenario. I don't know how that would play into it. Or maybe, hey, maybe you get both. Maybe Luke comes in and you get the lightsaber, but
We just don't
like
know.
it's a low probability.
But my thing is going back to what you're saying about cliffhanger. I think the cliffhanger will directly go tie into Ahsoka because I think the cliffhanger would be like Thrawn or Ahsoka coming.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it honestly, I could see that maybe the cliffhanger is like Moff Gideon dies. Let's just say Moff Gideon dies on the planet. The Mandalorians retake it. I could see the cliffhanger being a completely separate scene, maybe back on the ship. You know how they had the meeting of the heads of the Empire? Maybe it's all the heads of the Empire kind of talking about Moff Gideon's death, and then Thrawn walks in.
Yeah.
Something like that. Maybe a scene like that. I mean, they've done that a lot in Disney, so I feel like it's possible. Maybe
Yeah,
a little cliche for them, but I
I
think it
could
could work.
I could see that because Moff was like bashing him like kind of like last episode, and you can create like a dialogue where like
I
uh
don't, yeah, they definitely don't like him.
yeah,
None of them like him, so I would not be surprised.
you can create like a dialogue for like Thrawn saying, "Oh, my predecessor just dead like this," and just walk past him and like
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but I do agree there's going to be a huge cliffhanger, and it probably does. I don't even want to say probably. There's like a 99% chance it deals with Ahsoka and Thrawn.
I mean, we also seen like tweets and reports of saying like the producers saying they like were crying on set like after
Mhm.
finale. Like
That's
so you
it
know
just
someone.
feeds into the loss. Someone is gonna die. Who
I'm
look up whose
saying
contract is about to go out? Whose
I'm
contract is
saying
about
Ben Pedro Pascal's contract's gonna be high.
That's what I'm saying. Someone's contract's about to expire. They're not telling us.
Like,
Um,
okay, think about it. Pedro Pascal is like the hottest actor right now. Like he's his probably asking price for a season is probably so high right now.
I know. I just don't think that they would. I mean, I don't know. You could be right. Yeah, he's demanding a lot of money, especially with him being. Yeah, you're right. The number one TV show actor right now, I would say. I mean, you've got Last of Us and Mandalorian. Just, I mean, those are just two of the biggest, and they're on two different streaming platforms. Like he's the top of HBO while also being at the top of Disney. So
Yeah.
it's like bro is getting a insane amount of money. So I mean, there could be some sort of contract dispute, maybe,
I
but I
mean,
thought that him and the producers were on the same page in terms of
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's easier for him to shoot the Mandalorian. He's just doing the voice. He never really
Yeah,
step in.
yeah, he's like occasionally
Yeah.
on set, but I don't know. I like that he's the casting. Like I like his voice in terms of doing Din Djarin.
I mean,
I just
his
wish he would be in the armor more so you could see more of his body language, I guess. Like I like how they portrayed it, but
all I gotta say is that we're gonna see him again in the finale because every Mandalorian finale he has his helmet off, so we're gonna see
yeah.
him.
Hey, well, let's talk about that. You think he's going to take his helmet off again?
I think it'll come off. I think Grogu has to save him again, or like he
You
has to
think
save
so?
Grogu.
I don't know. I think, oh, maybe this just came to my head. I don't know. Possibly, probably not true, but maybe you could see a Grogu saves Din Djarin, and then you see the Praetorian Guards come in, and maybe you have like a father-son fight against the Praetorian Guards. Who knows? I'm super hyped about it. So
Yeah,
who
you can
knows?
see that. Or I could just see like Grogu like I don't know, I could just see Grogu saving his father, but like making that ultimate sacrifice play. Because we don't see Grogu in the sequel trilogies, do we?
I guess that's true. I don't know.
But we don't see Mandalorians in the sequel trilogy either. That's the only thing.
I don't really know. You're right though. Someone's gonna die. It's
Someone,
just, I mean, it's one of like five people. It's
here's
got to
the
be one of them.
here's the thing. Who does Disney think is the most replaceable in this whole show?
The armorer.
Well, she's
I
not.
think it's the armorer, man.
But the producers are not gonna cry when they kill off the armor. They're gonna cry.
That's true.
They're gonna cry when they kill a main character off.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
I feel like
It's. I
I
think. I
feel
think
like
you're right. It's a big death. I just don't know who.
feel like you can't kill Grogu because us all money the
Yeah,
Star
you
Wars.
definitely you did. Okay, we'll just rule him out. You can't kill Grogu. You just can't. I mean,
Watch the
imagine the
protocol.
backlash if they killed him.
Nah, no, like yeah, because remember when they okay, this is one thing. Okay, I'm kind of getting off topic, but this is one thing I hate about Rise of the Skywalker is when they killed Chewie, but then they showed like off like the other ship that went off.
Yeah, I don't know. They could do that. They could do something like that, where she was pulling the ship down.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I know there's no way they would kill him. Especially like, I mean, he, as much as it is the Mandalorian, he's just as much in that, especially with him just getting, I mean, he's a foundling now. So I don't see them killing him. I don't see them killing Bo-Katan. I did at the start. If you would have told me at the start of the season, I don't know. I think that they could kill her, but that it would leave so many plot holes in it that it would be so difficult for another season.
I
Because
mean,
I just don't know.
her name itself, Bo-Katan Kryze, is like a bad name. Like it's a curse, kind of a cursed name. Her sister had terrible death, and like she's the only one left. So
I
like
mean, that's true, but didn't you hear they said that she had brought honor back to her name?
they
And that
did,
was that was around the
Din,
end of the episode. But I see what you're saying.
but Din was trying to raise her up too by saying that whole speech, being "I'll be by your side," and we all
Yeah,
know
you're right. They could kill Bo-Katan. I don't know.
Din
I
can
think
do the right
that
thing.
the top two to die, main character based, are Din Djarin and the Armorer. I think those are the two that are like on the chopping block. You could die. Like if you like genuinely, if you'd have told me at the beginning of the season that Mando would pledge his allegiance to Bo-Katan, I would have been like, no, it's not a thing. Because she wasn't as prominent in the beginning of the season or even last season. But now she's become, and I guess that's just them reuniting Mandalore. She's become more in the spotlight. So I just don't know if they would kill her. I could see Din maybe laying down his life for it, for the cause of bringing Mandalore back together.
Yeah. Here's a uh here's a bold prediction out there. What happens if Bo-Katan dies and Moff gets a dark saber?
Hey, I don't even know what you said. Like he obviously still wants it, but I
Yeah.
also think that he believes more that the Mandalorians are not going to mess with him because he has it. Because when he's talking in the episode, he's like, "Give me the dark saber, and I'll control Mandalore." I feel like he really feels that the dark saber gives him the power to control Mandalore, which it does, I guess, but not really in terms of. I mean, they stated in the episode that Din Djarin said that the Children of the Watch don't really care. It doesn't mean anything to them,
I
and
mean,
I think it meant more to Bo-Katan, so that's why Moff Gideon wants it. I feel like it's more of like he just wants to get at her. So he's like, give me the dark saber. Because she's lost it once to him already. She's not gonna lose it again.
yeah. It's also, it's important to Death Watch. Like, we all watched the Clone Wars. Like, you saw how important the dark saber was, and like how like Pure Vizsla lost the Maul and died to Maul to it, and then we saw Bo-Katan fight Maul to get it back, but she never won it back. So we all know like how important it is to that side of the cult, not to the other side. But one thing I am excited to see in this upcoming episode is Moff Gideon's new black armor suit that we fully haven't been able to see fully in action yet.
Yeah, I agree. We're gonna get a fight scene. We're gonna see some of that cool high tech stuff that they've added onto the. I mean, you can see what Mandalorian, like what they have, the flamethrowers, all that kind of stuff. I feel like he's definitely at least taken some aspects of that. He's gonna have something cool. He's got something up his sleeve. He's not just gonna go in there with some armor that'll stop some blaster rounds. He knows that they obviously can work around that.
It'd be
I
a
think we're gonna see some cool stuff.
maybe a funny gag. It was be if they bring back those birds they captured and use them.
Imagine. I would honestly, I would like to see another Jack Black thing. I think that would be pretty cool if we saw some kind of thing like that.
You're like, but they don't have any military. That their
I
military
mean,
is
that's the main thing. I wish that they had said that, like maybe they had some military so that they could come in and give support to Mandalore. But I just don't know. I
Um,
wanted, I don't know. I don't, yeah, you're right. It's probably not going to happen.
I mean,
I could see maybe we get another mention of Grief Karga, like maybe he comes and helps, but then again, they also didn't have a sheriff. Oh, that leads me into another thing. Another prediction for the next episode is that we could see the New Republic come and aid Grief Karga, the High Magistrate. I could see it
but
because he
why
did
would
put in
they?
the help
Why,
request.
yeah, but the Mandalorian saved them. They don't need the New Republic anymore.
I mean, I guess that's true, but I just feel like
And
with
then,
all the stuff that's building up, especially with the Empire, that the New Republic could go out and try to see what's happening, especially when a major pirate ship, I guess, goes down there. That could be of some interest to the New Republic,
but
but especially based on that one episode, it's probably not
this
realistic
is
to think
saying
that.
New Republic that also let the Force Order to grow underneath their noses and grow up in power.
Yeah, the rehabilitation program is good in theory,
That's
but
not,
I mean, you have to think about it. They are like die hard empire. It's like it's not happening. It's like trying to make a Patriots fan a Cowboys fan. It's not happening.
and about my theory last week about Hux's, that was Hux's father. They confirmed that, and the theory was that was his brother playing his father. So
Gotcha.
that was a cool little theory.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting to add in there. I think
But
it's pretty cool that they do stuff like that.
but like the thing is, the New Republic isn't gonna charge in the battle again for I feel like in a while. Like you might see like a couple not TIE fighters, but X-wings out there.
Yeah, I could see some X-Wings coming in, maybe doing something like that. I mean,
Maybe
you could see that though. Maybe there's a huge battle in space, the Mandalorians are struggling, and then you see like two or three TIE fighters come in, and maybe save the day, shoot down some, I don't know. Maybe they shoot down some TIE fighters. I think we're gonna see Captain Teva again. I could see him, he comes in. He was obviously a big part of that episode. And he had suspicions, he knew who she was, and she obviously was on to. I feel like she knew that he knew,
yeah.
he was one of the only ones that wasn't getting fooled. So I could see some aspect of New Republic coming into the last episode.
I mean, we could see it, but I don't know. I just feel like it's doubtful because like right now they're in like their honeymoon phase of oh we just defeated the Empire, let's just drink wine and be
Yeah,
happy.
you're right. I think that ties into the rehabilitation program too. They're so blinded by victory, I guess you would say, that they're oblivious to what's happening behind the scenes. I mean, same thing. That's what the Empire is building on. They obviously have some resources that they don't want the New Republic to know about. And they're doing a great job because they are turning a blind eye and not looking.
Yeah, I agree. What like I don't know. I feel like what we're saying, like I feel like someone is gonna die a poetic death. Like I think someone is gonna have like what we saw in last episode, like a final showdown and have like a meaningful death, like for one of the ages. Because Dave Filoni and John Favreau are gonna have some poetic death that's gonna make every one of us Star Wars fans like shed a tear or something like
Yeah,
that.
tear up. I agree. I think that I see normally I would be like, maybe there's not a death because they killed Paz Vizsla in
Yeah,
the previous episode. But I think that they might have done that just to show
so
a
they're not
Praetorian
spoiled.
Guards and like how like that Mandalorian spirit.
Mhm.
So I think that it's honestly leading to another death more so like taking away from it. You would think that there's not another death because that would be two back-to-back big characters. But I think that them showing that he died and showing the ultimate sacrifice shows that there's going to be some sort of sacrifice for Mandalore made by some other character. And maybe there's not a big death, but I just feel like they're leading to it. I think it's going to be a great episode.
I think it will be a great episode, but I feel like it's gonna have us wanting more, and that's gonna probably lead us.
Always.
And it's gonna probably lead us into like, can't wait for Ahsoka, and I can't wait for the Acolyte series, which I am not happy to see anymore. I'll talk about that in a later episode, but I am not happy about the Acolyte series.
Yeah, I hope that they go and it directly correlates to Ahsoka. I think that's going to be one of the best ways for them to get popularity out of Ahsoka. Other than I think her design looks great. I think that they're doing a great job with that. And if Thrawn is portrayed right, I think it would be a huge success. But I would love to see them go straight into it right off the Mandalorian, because there's going to be another season of Mandalorian. But I really could see that Mandalore starts prospering again. Maybe,
Yeah.
like maybe there's some sort of growth there. And then it leads into Ahsoka and it shows Mandalore, and there's got to be a connection. But I hope that the end of Mandalorian for this season teases Ahsoka and Thrawn, and it shows that for when that show comes out.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. Well, that wraps up our predictions today about season 3 of The Mandalorian. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and leave your comments down below.
Peace, guys.